Hey, how's it going everyone, GoMotion here, and I've decided that I'm going to be making another Omega Battle, and I've decided to make it Omega Papyrus. And before you rush to the comments to tell me you wanted Omega Metaton, or Omega Undyne, or Omega Temi, this isn't some special last Omega Battle occasion. It's just something I'm doing because last time I made an Omega Battle, people weren't so happy with it, especially with the attacks. I basically ended up in comment chains explaining why I use the attacks I did for Omega Sans, like the chainsaw one. And since Papyrus is basically just, a toolless skeleton, I've pretty much used up all the Omega, skeleton attacks on Omega Sans. So when I started to think of ideas for Omega Papyrus, my mind went blank. So that's where you come in. I have the design and the dialogue covered for the most part for Omega Papyrus, but I need your help with attack ideas, and this is how it's going to work. You have the opportunity down in the comments below to suggest ideas for Omega Papyrus. I'm mostly looking for attacks for him, but you can suggest other stuff in general as well, like, I don't know, maybe how he's going to look, or I don't know, stuff like that. As a reward, if I do end up picking you, I mean, it's not going to be like the most amazing award in the world, but at the end of the battle, the Omega Papyrus Battle, I'll be giving you a shout out at the end, which is great, because everyone loves a shout out. Yeah, and while I'm here, I thought, I might as well do a quick Q&A for Omega Sans, because, there are a lot of people who have asked questions, and I am going to answer them. So let's start. What's next? Omega Papyrus? What? Of course not. What's next? Omega Metaton? Yeah. Why does he have goat horns and gaster blasters? I've actually received a lot of questions regarding the design of Omega Sans, and I'll sum up why everything is what it is. The horns and the cacti actually have, well, obviously, no relation to Sans whatsoever. I just thought he looked way too empty, so I just, had to add it in. In hindsight, someone pointed out that I could have actually used hot dogs and, like, ketchup packets and stuff instead, which actually would have made a lot more sense. So, this is why I am asking you guys for help, because you come up with suggestions like this. And these things, despite some people's beliefs, were meant to be gas blasters. So, yeah, I hope that answers that for a lot of you. Omega Papyrus, please? No. I'm not making it. I'm sorry, no. This boss battle seems really easy, like really easy. In one of the attacks, you don't even have to move. It's a cool concept, but make the attacks deadlier and harder to avoid. I also received a lot of feedback about some parts of the battle being too easy, and I don't blame you. In the second minigame, you can literally stand still in one of the corners and not get hit at all. And I tried to pass it off as like, oh, well, Omega Flowey is a pushover, and so is this battle. But obviously, that isn't the case here. Can you make a Mac version, please? Well, I would if I could. I don't actually really understand how to sort of do this. I'm relatively new to like making sort of like even small battles like this. So obviously I'm not going to know everything. And at the moment, I only know how to make it like a .exe for Windows. So hopefully I'll be able to figure that out at some point. I have to admit, the idea is okay, but the way it's presented is pretty bad. First, Flowey could only accomplish this with 6 souls. Second, all the music is exactly the same. Third, the design is completely ripped off Omega Flowey, the way he comes in, and the sounds and all. 4, the attacks aren't meant to look like that. I'm not sure what you're trying to tell me with the 4th one, but I got an unsurprising amount of people tell me that Omega Sans isn't, possible in the Undertale world. What they mean by that is that Omega Sans didn't absorb the 6 souls in this fight, which is what Flowey has to do to become Omega Flowey. My response to that is, first, it's just a fan-made fight. I mean, I know you guys want to enjoy it and stuff, but like, you don't need to take it so seriously. I honestly don't really care about him needing to absorb any souls. It's just something I made for fun. Just don't take it too seriously. It's just something to be taken lightly. And second, if that didn't satisfy you, then my Omega Sans takes place in an alternate universe where any character can become an Omega character at will. Hooray! Everyone's a winner. Everyone's got an answer. Hooray. And finally, why is there a chainsaw? Because no Omega battle is complete without a chainsaw. That should do it for this video. Thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to leave attack ideas below if you haven't already. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.